friends, my name is Llajaira, but you can call me Elle. So welcome to another episode of Makeup with Elle. Today we're doing this coffee inspired look using the Latte Palette from Dominique. I am so in love with this palette and it is super easy to use. The colors are very pigmented, but they're kind of buildable as well. I know that's kind of weird to say, but it has very large pan sizes, and if you look at the colors on this palette, it kind of helps you with the transition shades and helps you build up color. But it also has these two crazy for me colors in the palette as well. I love the shimmers. The shimmers look super beautiful, as you can tell on the eyes. And I would highly recommend this palette to absolutely anyone. I'm definitely going to buy this palette again when I run out. Today's look was inspired by my love for coffee. Anyone who knows me knows how much I love it and how much of it I drink. I actually drink multiple cups a day, and it has just been a huge part of my life ever since I was younger. I used to drink coffee at my grandma's house with my cousins and my siblings, and so it's just always been a part of my life. And before I forget, today's Minnie Mouse ears just have that coffee vibe to them. We actually got them when we went on our very first trip to Disney World, and just the chocolate and caramel look really called my attention, so I absolutely had to have these ears. If you want to see how I got this look and continue to watch me drink coffee, just continue watching this video. I'm going to start by just kind of pressing that into my face. And a poreless primer usually works best when you do this instead of kind of like swiping it all over your face. So just kind of press that into your pores and then it'll just like sink in. I'm going to leave the outside of my face alone because I don't feel like I need too much primer hanging out there. Using my Painterly Paint Pot, I'm just going to cover my eyes pretty thickly because my eyes are oily today, and I wanted to cover everything. I just got this and I love it so much. So many people are talking about it, so I felt like it's a product that I needed. And it does not disappoint. It is like so awesome. Do the same on the other eye. Next, I'm going to use the brow blade again. I've used this in other videos and I'm like really loving it. I purchased this for a second time because I totally ran out of the first one and it's just my favorite. I'm going to brush my eyebrows so that my little hairs are exactly where I want them to be. And then using the pencil type side, there's a pencil side and a felt side. But using the pencil side, I am going to draw in on the outside of my eyebrows. So basically I draw a line following my natural curve on the bottom and the top, and then I fill it in. I start with little baby strokes just to make sure that I'm not creating weird lines, or to make sure that it looks pretty straight and flat. So I just draw tiny baby lines and then tiny baby lines on the top as well. And I'm going for a thicker eyebrow look today, so you'll notice that I really kind of carved out my brow a lot, but I'm feeling thick eyebrows today. Occasionally I'll go back in and brush them into place. And then just keep going. Eyebrows honestly recently have been taking me a pretty long time to do because I want them to be perfect. And I never used to really fill in my eyebrows all too much. Just kind of leave them more natural looking. And I know you can't see this in the video, but I'm kind of resting my elbow on the table. It helps me be more precise with my eyebrow and draw a nice straight line. It kind of like helps me guide my way through creating the perfect brow. I am then going to use the felt tip side, and I'm just going to draw little baby hairs where I don't have any, because the pencil side is a lot lighter and the felt tip is almost exactly my hair color, so I'm just gonna kind of fake it till I make it and draw little baby hairs in there. Brush it up a little bit more, blend that in. And that is it for my first eyebrow. I'm actually going to do my second eyebrow off camera because it's a lot less pressure, and then I'll be right back. I'm going to start this look using Vanilla Cream. It's this yellowy shade in the palette, and I'm going to just kind of tap that all over my eye. This yellow shade kind of takes out all of the darkness in my eye. I have some hyperpigmentation on my eyelid, so it helps a lot. Again, I am just tapping that right into my eye, so it kind of just sticks onto the Paint Pot that I just used. And it'll help the colors blend in super nicely together. Using my same brush, I am going to dip into the color Caramello, and I'm going to use that as my transition shade. So I'm going to dip into it and just kind of place that in my crease. Using nice slow motions, I'm actually holding onto the very back of this brush. It helps me to not press that color very directly into my eye. So back of the brush, just kind of very smoothly brushing it onto my lid. My crease is actually not up here, so you'll notice in a lot of my looks, my crease is all the way right down here. So I'm basically creating a fake crease or a false crease for myself, because if I worked with my crease right down here, you won't even see my eyeshadow. So I'm still kind of building up that color to what I want. This is actually a shade that I find myself dipping into even when I'm using other palettes, because it's like a very pretty transition shade for my skin tone. I use this as a base for a lot of the looks that I do. Going into the other eye. This side is a lot harder because the angle of my hand is going to be a little bit different, but what I do is I try to kind of hold my hand out. That way I have the same kind of approach on my eye. Still soft motions, still holding the brush from the very back, still sweeping kind of slowly. I'm actually getting faster, but the speed doesn't matter as long as it's the same amount of pressure. Next, with that same brush, I'm going to dip into the orange color in the shade called Pumpkin Spice. And I love me some pumpkin spice in the winter. Fun story, I went to Disneyland last year and I had my first pumpkin spice latte at Disneyland. It wasn't like a thrilling story, just a fun one. So I'm just deepening up that color. You notice it looks pretty bronzy. Pretty cute. Same thing on the other eye. Just building up that color until it's exactly what I want. Sometimes my hand falls down to the table just because I need to rest it, but all that means is I need to work out a little bit more. Because I feel like I lost some of the transition shade, I'm actually going to take a brush. This is a Morphe MB25, and it's kind of a flatter brush. I'm going to dip it a tiny bit in that original color, the caramel, and I'm going to try to diffuse the very top and blend it out. So you can still see that color kind of come through and see that perfect blend up towards my eyebrow. Moving on, using my Morphe M507, I'm going to dip into the color Mocha, and I am going to just kind of place that in the outer V of my eye. So you'll notice I'm going to draw a V shape right in here. To create kind of a smoky, bronzy look. I'm going to take a fluffier blush really quickly. This is a Morphe JH40, and it's a little tiny bit fluffier so that I can blend out that deeper color a tiny bit better. I'm going to take that color a little bit into the center of my eye just to kind of create that blend for it. So you can see this color deepening up. I'm not going to dip into the color because it's pretty dark, but because this palette is pretty buildable, I just tap in a little bit lightly and then kind of move it around my eye as needed. And then taking the brush that I use for the 2 transition shades, I'm going to blend that out so that it diffuses it a little bit. I didn't add more product onto this brush, I'm just kind of using it as a cleaner. Alrighty, so I did my other eye off camera to match this eye because I felt like I was taking a pretty long time and this video is going to be very long if I leave it in. But I'm going to go back into Vanilla Cream and tap that right underneath my eyebrow. This lightens up that piece right there. Kind of creates a pretty blend. And then again, using that same brush for my transition shades, I'm going to blend it all out. Blend it up. Next, I'm going to do a cut crease. I've never done a cut crease on this channel before, but I tried it once, and the shimmers on this palette are just so perfect and so beautiful, but I feel like they just like popped so much more with a cut crease, so I want to show you guys that effect because it was so beautiful. So I'm going to be using my e.l.f. concealer brush and the Tarte Shape Tape, and I've used both of these on my channel already, so I like using this brush because it's pretty flat and dense. I am just going to kind of create a cut crease for myself. Basically, I'm placing the concealer on the bottom of my lid and I open my eye. Opening my eye allows me to see exactly where that concealer is gonna stop. So then I will create a line just following where I made that little indention. Essentially, it's like making a stencil for yourself, kind of following my eye upwards. Again, I'm going above my crease because I don't have a lot of lid space, so I make myself a false crease. I'm going to draw all the way towards the middle of my eye and a little bit further than that. So I have this like half moon type of shape on my eye. And you are going to see how pretty these colors are. So first I'm going to use Macchiato, and legit it is my favorite glitter in the palette. I'm just going to use my finger and I'm going to press that right where my cut crease is. And it just glistens on my eye. It's like so bright. Using my blending brush, I'm just going to go right over that to make sure that it didn't go above that cut crease, because I was using my finger, and when you use your finger you don't have as much control. It looks better, but you don't have as much control. Then I'm going to go into Creme Brulee, and I'm going to use Creme Brulee right in the middle of my eyelid to have it look like kind of an ombre glitter going into the Mocha towards the end. And again, going back with that same brush, I'm not adding product onto it, I'm just kind of blending the glitter, just blending that stuff back out. And lastly, I'm going to take Mocha and finish blending it so we have a nice blend towards the end of my eye. I'm going to fast forward us through the other eye really quickly. Moving on, we are going to use the Tarteist Tarte eyeliner, and I love it. So I'm actually going to draw towards the middle. There's going to be awkward silence while I'm doing this because it makes me so nervous to put on eyeliner on camera. So You can sing in your head or something. Ooh, I did it. Using the pencil side, I am going to draw in my upper lash line. I usually take my pencil and I put it on my lash line and close my eye. That way I draw all over the lid line without poking myself in the eyeball. Moving on, I'm going to use the Tarte Man Eater Mascara. And I love that the packaging is purple, but I love the mascara more. One of my eyelashes are like flatter than the other, so it looks like I don't have eyelashes on this side, but I have a ton of fluffy lashes on this side. I don't know if that happens to anyone else, but it's pretty annoying. Next, we're gonna move on to the face. This is like the home stretch. I don't take as long on my face as I do on my eyebrows and eyes, so let us start. Using my Tarte Double Duty Beauty, I'm going to place a couple pumps of that on the back of my hand. Remember that I already placed primer on my face. It's been kind of sinking in there the entire time. And using my blender, I'm not sure what the brand name of this blender is, but using my blender, I'm going to tap into that and place it all over my face. I feel like this color is more true to my skin tone. It matches my neck a little bit better than most of the foundations I have, but mostly because I haven't tanned in forever and so I'm pretty pale. This is a pretty full coverage foundation and I think that's why I love it the most. I've been getting some breakouts because I'm trying to replenish my face and using a ton of stuff to do that, so I'm getting some breakouts and this is just wonderful. Going all the way down on my neck and on my ears. I just started putting foundation on my ears and I don't know why I haven't done it before. It just makes me look like one color. The hardest part is getting like foundation over your eyebrow because I'm like deathly afraid of touching it, and then right in between your nose. But I'll show you what I do for that. Using this like little concealer brush, I'm actually going to take a little bit more of that foundation and I'm going to put it into those areas that I'm terrified to touch, like right in here. And then I use my finger to blend it in a little bit better. And then right above my eyebrows. That looks great. And then again, I press that in with my fingers to make it seem more seamless. Warm it up with my fingers. For my under eyes, I'm using the Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector and taking a little bit of that on my finger. I gave up using brushes for this product a little bit ago because it just applies so great with my finger. But it has this pinkish tint to it so that my eyes don't look crazy dark. It like brings life back to my face. Apparently I want my hair to be the same color as my face today. Using my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the color Light Medium, I'm just going to draw under my eyes. And using the same blender with just the tip part, I'm going to blend that in under my eye, pressing it in to my face. So I'm not doing a swiping motion, I'm doing a pressing motion. I have to be super careful when I'm doing this part. I try to like keep my eyes nice and tight and like focusing in one direction because I have really fine lines underneath my eyelids and I don't want my foundation making that look more amplified, so I just kind of stay focused on the mirror when I'm doing this part. Looking up really helps, so you'll see me angle my face very awkwardly. but that's why I do what I do. Moving on, I am going to dip into my peach powder. Again, one of my favorites and one I've shown on my channel already. And I'm going to use my same beauty blender and tap that into my eyelid, just like I did with the concealer. What's very different on my channel today is I'm going to be using a powdered contour. So I'm using the Sephora Neutral Mocha, staying in the theme apparently. And it is a powder foundation, but I'm going to take it on this contour brush here and tap off the excess. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to press my contour brush just starting at the base of my face here, and I'm just going to tap it in and move my brush down my face. And I'm going to keep the contour kind of towards the back of my face today because I've noticed that it gives me just a different shape. So I'm going to do a little bit of sweeping motions just so it blends in, but keeping that nice and dark towards the back of my face. I'm still going to take my contour and I'm going to brush it on my forehead. I notice contouring right in here helps my face be more defined as well. And then right down the sides of my face. This acts as contour and bronzer together. So I kind of dig it. One step, two things. When I do powder, bronzers, and contours, I tend to go a little extra so my face looks darker and tanner. But it is spring, so it's totally cool. And it is a coffee themed video, so I want all the coffee, like all of it. Using a little bit of powder that's kind of still in the lid here, I am going to set the rest of my face. And next I'm going to contour my nose. Taking a smaller brush, using that same color, I'm just going to kind of draw in on the side of my nose here, both sides. Makes my nose look a lot thinner. And then right in the front here. And then using my beauty blender, I'm just going to kind of blend that out a little bit. I love this brush. It is a Real Techniques brush that I found, and it's just so fluffy and cute and pink. So I'm gonna take all the excess powder off of my face with this brush. Using the color Pumpkin Spice, because my eyes are pretty orangey, I'm going to line my lower lash line with this color. And bring it all the way to where the color is on the outside of my eye to make it a more cohesive look. But I'm going to continue moving back and forth until I build to the color that I want. I'm also going to line my lower lash line with the pencil part of the Tarte liner. And I'm going to add mascara to my bottom lid. Moving on, I'm going to use this blush from Wet n Wild. It has kind of like a peachy undertone to it. Let's see how that shows on my face. Ooh, I like that. I like it. So I'm just gonna brush that on my cheeks, forehead as usual, my chin and ears, so I look nice and blushed. And then last but not least, we are going to move on to our lips. I'm gonna take some of this foundation off of my lips. Some people actually put foundation on their lips, but take it off. And then I'm going to very slowly line my lips. I'm actually going to scratch that color that I was originally using, and I'm going to use this e.l.f. liquid lipstick in the color Praline. It does go with the theme. I used to have praline coffee when I was little. I probably will still make praline coffee at some point. In like Christmas collections, they put like praline and cream flavor. And please comment below if I'm not saying praline right, because that's how I learned to say it, but just let me know. It also goes really pretty with this color eye. So I'm going to take the tip and kind of line my lip with the tip of my liner. And as you can see, I'm overlining my lip because I have really small lips and I just really want the color to show. Using the concealer that I used to do my cut crease, I'm actually going to clean up the line on my lip. I didn't add more product. I'm still using the same amount of product that was on it. I actually really like the e.l.f. matte liquid lips because they stay on for a really long time. I actually forgot that I had this one in particular, but my friend was over and was using my makeup and she complimented it, so I just thought of it while I was doing this video that it matches with my theme. So e.l.f. liquid lip, they are so great and they are so cheap. I 100% recommend this liquid lip. Alright, so now we just have to set our face and we're done. And lastly, to finish off this look, I'm going to use the Super Shock shadow as part of your world to add some highlights to my face. And as I've mentioned before, I like putting this on after I set my face because this one is actually super cute. It doesn't show texture in your face. It's not like a dry kind of highlighter, so it's not gonna like clump up on your face, but it just adds this pretty highlight. So it's all the high points, including the tip of my eyebrow. So here we are. This is the final look using the Latte palette. I am super comfortable with this palette. I love it for so many reasons. Mostly because it makes my face look super awesome. The colors are super easy to blend and it's just a nice buildable / blending easy palette to use. I really love the nice coffee caramel mocha blend that it kind of put together, and so it's the love of my life. If you like this video and you want to see more videos like it, subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all. Bye.